Every Jaguar owner in the world has the list of available games committed to memory. Well, now it's time to add one more to the list. Brutal Sports Football from Telegames is the first third-party title to be released for the Jag, and it's an omen of good things to come.
Jaguar owners will buy anything right now, so this one should do well. I liked it okay, but it wasn't what I expected. I was hoping for a serious sports game, and this isn't, not by a long shot.
Brutal Sports is a football-like game in which the object is to run or throw the ball through the opposing goal. Pretty simple. The catch is, there's no rules. If you want to go off sides and hit someone before the ball is in play, go ahead.
Like real football, this game is violent, but brutal football goes way beyond the limits of any organized sport. You can even stomp on fallen players to hurt them more. And since there's no law, you don't have to worry about penalties.
There's a good number of teams for you to select, most of which are human, but there are 3 mutant teams with different abilities. Lizards are quick and can take a lot of damage. The Rams are even faster than the Lizards, and they have a nasty headbutt. The Rhinos are the baddest boys in the league. They may not be fast, but you'll end up talking like Muhammad Ali if you get hit by them.
You can play isolated games or groups of games, or you can opt for league play. In this mode, you must face each team in the league, starting with the lowest of the low. Your league position and stats are stored as a password. This is a good way to play if you can't find another human to pick on. Control of the game is simple. The 8-way directional pad controls your active player's movement. Button B passes the ball, Button C kicks, and Button A activates a special item if you have one. The 1, 2, and 3 keys on the Jaguar controller set your team's formation to normal, offensive, or defensive. One of very few realistic features to this game.
The game's easy enough to control, but after a half hour or so of play, it really starts to hurt. You're constantly pressing the directional with your left thumb, and it gets pretty raw before too long. I don't want to but this was one game that should ship with protective padding. Apart from scoring goals, maiming and dismembering the opposing team is a high priority, and a lot of fun to boot. Each time a player is tackled, he takes a little damage, and dead players aren't very effective. I lost a game 12-0 because my goalie got decapitated.
The violence level detracts from the realism of the game, but after a little while I learned to like it. There's something powerfully gratifying about beating an opposing player to death just for the hell of it. Anyone who's played league sports before should appreciate that. Once you accept that Brutal Sports Football is not a serious sports title, the biggest flaw I could find with it was that it doesn't really push the limits of the Jaguar itself. We've got an extremely powerful new system here, but nothing to really show off its abilities.
I have to agree with you on that. The graphics and sounds are good, but they're not really above SNES quality. I didn't think this really hurt gameplay, though. Brutal Football may not sell many Jaguars on its own, but it will make current Jag owners a lot happier. Just running up and down the field and jumping on people could get a little boring after a while, so the folks at Telegames added a bunch of power-up icons that randomly appear on the field. The rabbit and tortoise affect your team's speed in obvious ways. You can also pick up nastier things like knives and throwing axes, even bombs to help clear a path in front of you.
If you play a 2-player match, you'll get a couple extra icons to mess with. My favorite is the one that reverses the directions on your opponent's thumb pad. Brutal Football is a great 2-player game, and the ability to mess up your friend's controls just makes it all the more enjoyable. Although most matches are won by the number of goals, you can also win by killing 6 of the 7 enemy team members. This is where those weapons icons can really come in handy. If you fall way behind in score early on, concentrate on getting weapons and putting the hurt on the opposition.
Dead team members don't get replaced either, so look after your health if you want to win. And if a game goes into sudden death, the ball is abandoned and the match turns into a total headhunt. The severed heads even stay on the field, and you can pick them up and throw them. That may be sick, but sick is fun. Brutal Sports Football may not be a major video game revelation, but it's more fun than a barrel of burning rips. It's got decent graphics and sound, non-stop action, and more violence than the World Cup. I'm looking forward to more games in the Brutal Sports series. Maybe Brutal Sports Golf? Brutal Sports Croquet?
Don't forget Brutal Sports Curling. I have to admit I liked this game, even though I didn't think I would at first. I'd still prefer a real sports game for the Jaguar, but Brutal Sports Football should keep me pleasantly occupied until then. It's fun, addictive, and great for 2-player grudge matches.